I would like to thank the organizers of BSI 2022 for accepting this paper on content curation for teaching and learning immunology and beyond. This HotDoc will cover the context of information and health literacy for the past few years, the methods and tools available for content curation, our experience, as well as the interest in blended and connected learning. Acquiring knowledge took place in universities and libraries previously. Now, more and more on the web and internet, but finding information and learning can be not much easier. Indeed, infobesity has been coined to access information and knowledge, either through published papers and on the social networks. Information literacy in higher education was an objective of European program Horizon 2020 for creating multi-skilled learners and becoming independent and lifelong learners. OCDE and UNESCO added media for learners to access an optimal health literacy. Content curation is not a so recent concept. Many tools have been developed, but we choose and use Scoopit, which is very good for managing serious information. A content curator can be compared to diverse actors in the wild to find, select, editorialize, comment, and share nuggets or snippets of information. In other words, he is able to aggregate, distillate, elevate, remix, and organize information, just like teachers and learners have to do during their day-to-day work. An ideal attractive nugget, or so-called snippet of information, is including a title, a short summary, an illustration to be attractive, comments, and tags. According to previous research interests, we have been using content curation to cover various immunology subtopics: basic systemic immunology, mucosal immunity, cytomics, biotherapies, as well as immunopathology, for instance, autoimmunity, allergy, neuroimmunology, as well as history of immunology. Colleagues in France and USA also opened their own topics on their research interests. We have been asking French and Chinese students to discover the method during their training in clinical research, particularly master students from Nancy Wuhan training program, and they benefited from bonus point of activity and improved their foreign language usage. We used it, Scoopit tool, even more for long-distance interactive teaching during COVID pandemic, asking students to maintain their own portfolio of their learning progresses and using selected resources for homework. It has been recognized by a European program and in a EPAL community story. Beyond classical scientific knowledge and information, content curation of the web and of social networks allowed us to approach, for instance, social listening of the very sensitive topic of fake news and vaccinations. We were able to build a content hub for vaccine literacy of health professionals and medical students since January 2020. Content curation allows to build content hubs through finding information using classical info research, web crawling of internet with Scoopit, which can be personalized, when browsing and sharing this information through networks of interest, and also creating scoops and publishing personal information. It allows to publish a kind of open web magazine, searchable, attractive, to share information to readers as well as on other networks or via email or newsletters. The benefits for teachers and researchers are the following. It helps keeping abreast of information, either scientific or societal, for their continuous professional development and e-learning. It helps building leadership in specific areas, joining specialist networks and interest communities, as well as opening new research fields through serendipitous finding. Benefits for research trainees. It helps them build research content hubs, but also portfolios during their master and PhD research. They become information literate, able to surf the wave of information, and it will help them for future lifelong learning, mandatory in universities, research centers, and industries, and build their personal learning network. Training opportunities are obvious. New ways of learning can be implemented, flipped or blended or hybrid information. Again, information and digital literacy is improved, helping students master information tools and techniques. It helps them learn by reading and writing, analyzing text, writing summaries and comments. And indeed, it stimulates curiosity in their research field and beyond. It opens then new fields of learning, and it answers to most of the requirements of so-called online and connected learning, from blended learning, self-learning, micro-learning, social learning, etc. But I will insist much on reading and writing, which is still mandatory, and on curiosity. Of course, there are challenges in this tool and practice. Specialist human factor is the added value of curation compared to algorithms. But unfortunately, human dependency is also the limit. This activity would be a day-to-day duty of teachers and researchers, just like walking the dog. But individualism of teachers and researchers is surprising, some of them being reluctant to share the information they manipulate. In summary, in our experience, Scoopit is one of the best curation tools for serious information due to its crawling engine and enrichment capacity. It allows to open a virtual scientific news journal and database easy to browse with pictures, helping students and users for information literacy and curiosity. But the human factor of curation, which is the added value compared to robots, is also the limit requiring everyday work. My last slide, the disclaimer, to summarize once upon a time my interest in information and scientific information during many years, and also to address my regards to one of Toronto Emerita, Professor Michel Letarte, which I had the opportunity and the pleasure to meet at IUIS ICSU meeting. Thank you for your attention.